Hi everyone, I hope all of you guys are doing well. So today we are going to cover one very important topic that I have told you before about how to read any book for UPSC. See, one of the top problems that UPSC aspirants face is that they are not able to really absorb all the material from the books. Let it be your spectrum book, let it be your Indian polity book, let it be your NCRT's book, which are very important also, like physical geography, fundamentals of physical geography, class 11th book, let it be your art and culture book from NCRT, let it be your art and culture book of Nitin Singhania. All of these books obviously are important and you need to cover them. But what is the point if you're just reading them but you're not able to really understand, grasp, and then answer the questions that are coming in prelims, that are coming in the mains? What is the point of reading all these books? There is no point, right? So today I'm going to really teach you how to read any of these books in such a way that you are able to understand them, you are able to decode them, you are able to understand the most important parts of these books, and you are actually able to answer various UPSC questions successfully, both for prelims and for mains, once you have read these books. So effective reading is one of the most important things, and that is what I'm going to teach you today. So the first thing in the effective reading of any book is going to be how to cover the chapters and the various contents, how to plan this out a little bit in advance so that you can actually get the most out of the book. The second thing I'm going to discuss is about what exactly to focus on. You cannot focus on everything. If you start focusing on everything, it will become very difficult. So what exactly to focus on, that is very important. All right. The third thing is going to be how to practice various questions and exercises so that you can get the maximum. You can even prepare for the exam alongside while you are studying. See, studying for books or reading books or studying for the UPSC content is one aspect of the exam. Okay, studying or reading of the books is one aspect of the exam, while the second aspect is practicing of the various chapters that are given in the book. This is the second aspect. This is very important because only by practicing can you solve the questions. And here I am going to teach you that how to practice various questions. What to do about various editions. Students have older editions, whether to use them or not, and how to use them. Then what about the keywords, key facts, key concepts, and understanding of these various things. Because see, whatever you're studying, you have to at the end of the day remember the keywords, the key facts, and the key concepts so that you are able to answer that in exam properly. All right, so you have to be able to absorb this very well. So I will also cover that. Then revision and recalling, how you can effectively revise, you can recall various chapters, and how you can use time management skills properly to do this. And finally, I am going to cover the notes, whether to make notes or not, and how to make notes if you have to make any notes. I am going to cover all these various different seven aspects. It might not be covered in obviously one class, but I am going to cover this in the next few classes. And today I am going to tell you specifically I am going to tell you about how to cover the various chapters and the content, what to focus on, etc. All right. So let's go ahead and dive into it. I will show you directly from the book only. All right. I will keep this here so that you can use it, refer to it while we are actually doing this. All right. And now let's go ahead and what book am I going to use? Any guesses? I am going to use the geography book, the fundamentals of physical geography, because I feel like if you master this one book, you can really kind of get your entire physics fundamentals right. All right, I am going to use this particular book today. All right, so now let's go ahead and open the book and then I will tell you. So the first thing, how to cover any chapters, any concepts, any content from the book. The moment you open the book, the first thing you want to do is first read the table of the contents very properly. Understand the content, table of contents, and even if possible, you Google the various topics from the table of contents. All right, that is very important that you Google topics from the table of content, number one. Number two, understand the TOC, the table of content topics, from a broader perspective. from a broader perspective, that is bird's eye view. उसको bird's eye view भी बोलते हैं. So you want to understand these topics from a very wide angle, from a very broad angle, by googling them one by one and by just reading about them a little bit. Alright, so for example, let's say in this first I will see how many chapters are there. Okay, I know there are 16 chapters in this book. The book is from page number 1 to page number 131. Okay, including glossary 140. So let's say there are 130 pages in this book. Now I will do basic calculation that there are 130 pages in this book. I do 20 pages in one day. So how many days will I do all these? I will approximately take 7 to 8 days max to cover this entire book. So now I have a target that I have fixed for myself. Okay, you have to fix a target also. So third thing is you are fixing a target कि कितने दिनों में, in how many days you are going to finish it. I fix the target. If I do 20 pages in one day, in 7 to 8 days, I will be able to do it. I am taking a couple of days extra because obviously sometimes you get stuck, so it might take more time to cover those topics. Alright, so target will be achieved in these number of days. I have to Google the topics from the table of contents and understand those table of contents. So this is the first part of the how to cover your various chapters and the content that is given in the book. So first of all, let's say the first chapter is geography as a discipline. From the title itself, it seems like it's a very broad topic. It's going to talk about geography as a subject. Do I need to go into it? Not really. Let's go into the actual topics. The first unit is the earth, and in this the origin and evolution of the earth. I will go ahead and Google this. Sorry, I'm writing with pen for those who love the books, but it's okay. This will help you to understand it. Google this, the origin and the evolution of earth. And if you Google this particular topic, you will find some Wikipedia page, you will find some basic theories, you will find some page on maybe some other scientific websites where you can get an overall idea. You can look at some of the images. So when you do Google search, you also find images or some good YouTube videos which are 4 to 5 minutes videos max, which will explain to you about the origin of earth. So the first thing I am going to do is I am going to go ahead and study that particular origin of earth from the Google search that I have done. I will spend maximum 30 to 40 minutes in it. Maximum 30 minutes, maximum 15 minutes. Okay, 15 minutes to 30 minutes in this, and then I will go to the next chapter. I will not go ahead and read the chapter. I will go ahead and get an overview of the next chapter. So like this, I have to spend approximately, let's say one day or maybe couple of hours, maximum 2 to 3 hours, trying to understand the table of contents. What that will do is that will give me an overall perspective of what is there to come ahead. What am I studying? What is the overall big bird's eye view of what I am studying? What is this subject all about? What am I expecting in front of me? And once you do that good analysis of the table of contents, trust me, it will become very easy for you to then cover this book. Very, very easy for you to cover this book. Alright, this is a new book that I had bought, so that's why you don't see any underlines or anything, but obviously in the original book there were a lot. Now second thing you want to do is, once you go to the chapter, quickly just go through once you've done this TOC exercise that I told you, quickly look over the book, alright, and go to the end of the book. In NCERTs, these chapter exercises are given in the end of the book. Go ahead and read these questions. Even if you don't understand them, just give them a quick glance. 5-10 minutes mein give them a good glance. If back of the end chapters, like if you are studying Laxmikanth, obviously this end of the chapter questions are not there in Laxmikanth, alright. It is just a summary, I think. Let me go and see. So like this, they have tables. They don't really have anything. So here you can't do that. Here you can't do that. If there is a summary, some books like Spectrum books actually give you summary. So if you are reading Spectrum book, you can read this summary quickly, alright, and that you have to do before you actually read the chapter. Alright, so do that. In Laxmikanth, you can't do that. Laxmikanth reading technique is totally different. I will tell you that in another video. But here, do this exercise. For any NCERT, you should do that. No, you don't have to do it. Just read the questions, think about them, and then come back to the chapter, look at the images, look at the chapter, and then actually look at these various boxes, and then actually start reading the chapter. So the reading the chapter actually happens really quite a bit later than the initial exercise you have to do. And once you start reading this chapter, then it will become much easier. So basically, what I was telling you was how to cover chapters and content. This is how you cover your chapters and content from any book. This is how you should plan it out. Daily targets, finish those targets. 1 or 2 days, 3 days, you can always take extra, because obviously UPSC preparation is not predictable like that, alright. So that much time you can always take extra, but this is how you should plan it. This is how you should set your target. These are some of the things you should take care of. Do them in advance. Google the various topics from TOC, understand the TOC, also target make the targets, which chapters I'm going to finish when, page number wise, and do the Google image search, YouTube videos, etc. And this is how you start reading any book effectively. That is the first thing you have to do. Alright, the second thing about this part, about how to cover the content, is basically going to be very simple. Okay, I'll tell you. Whenever you are reading the book, let's say you are on this chapter, Interior of the Earth, go through the main headings of the chapter and make a list of those headings in your rough paper, wherever you are, just rough paper, it doesn't have to be notes. Sources about interior, about info on interior, short notes, direct sources. See, अब यहाँ पे क्या है कि there are sources are two kinds, direct sources, alright, indirect sources. Just rough notes I am making. So this is one topic I will study from this book. Second is earthquake. Obviously, common sense, these earthquake waves are going to be in part of the earthquake. So waves, earthquake waves, and then these subtopics that are given within these topics. So mark them down on a piece of paper like this before you actually start the chapter, and then you start the chapter one by one. Now in front of you will have your targets. मेरे को ये सब समझना है. Sources about the interior of the earth. Sources about the information of the interior about the earth. So this is the particular part of the chapter, and I will start reading this, and I will try to see what are the main keywords, what are the main important facts here. Some facts are important and some facts are ones you should ignore. So now I am coming to the part what to focus on. Alright, what to focus on. There are some parts of the question that you have to focus on, and there are some parts of the question that, of the book or the chapter, some parts of the chapter that you have to focus on, and there are some parts of the chapter that you have to not focus on. In this particular thing, how will you separate the wheat from the chaff? How will you separate what is not important from what is important? Alright, let's see that. Let's start studying this. I will start going from earthquake. Okay, it will be easier for a lot of you to understand also. यहाँ पे मैं पढ़ता हूँ. I'll open the book and start reading this. The study of seismic waves provides a complete picture of the layered interior. An earthquake is, in simple words, shaking of the earth. Now you have got the definition of the earthquake. This is important. Earthquake is simply nothing but shaking of the earth. It is a natural event. It is caused due to release of energy which generates waves that travel in all directions. Okay, you don't need to underline it is a natural event. Everyone knows it is a natural event. You just need to understand the actual definition. So an earthquake is shaking of the earth. An earthquake is movement in the earth, okay, which releases waves that travel in different directions. Shaking होता है, waves होता है. तो ऐसे, this is how I used to make notes. Earthquake is there. Earthquake is simply but shaking of the earth which generates waves. Done. Now you have understood the topic, you have understood what an earthquake is, you can move to the next point, which is why does an earthquake shake? Do you need to write this? Maybe. Some people like to write it and make notes, some people don't. Some people like to do it only in the book. There are also notes available, various notes available in the market like PMFIS notes or vision notes. You can use those notes to revise after you have read it from the book. A lot of students ask me, sir, book se note banaye. What is the point of making notes from the book when notes are already available from which you can revise, and there also you can make your own, you can write and you can learn through writing. Here you just study, focus on studying instead of making notes that much. Why does the earth shake? Now here the reasons are given. So reasons. The release of energy occurs along a fault. A fault is a sharp break in the crustal rocks Rocks along a fault tend to move in opposite directions. As the overlaying rock strata press them, the friction locks them together. However, their tendency to move apart at some point of the time overcomes the friction. As a result, the blocks get deformed and eventually they slide past one another abruptly. This causes release of energy and energy waves travel in all directions. The point where the energy is released is called focus of an earthquake. See, this is important. See, यहाँ पे इन्होंने italics में भी कर रखा है. So this is a keyword and you must remember the keywords. यहाँ पे what are the two keywords? Hypocenter and focus. जो थोड़े से technical words होते हैं, those are keywords and those are important to remember. I have given here keywords because sometimes they might ask you about this keyword also in the exam, or sometimes you might need to reproduce this keyword in order to write a good answer. So learn what is a focus. It is a point from where the energy is released of an earthquake. Alternatively, it is called the hypocenter. So it is also called the hypocenter. The energy waves traveling in different directions reach the surface. The point on the surface is called the epicenter. Okay, so now you understand that from the focus, from the hypocenter, the actual earthquake has started, and then when it reaches the earth, the surface of the earth, then it is called, that point is known as the epicenter. And it is the first one to experience waves. It is a point directly above focus. So now you have understood why does the earth shake? Earth basically shakes because of that break in the rocks, crustal rocks that happens, because of which faults get created, because of which eventually energy is released. And you can even make a small diagram about it yourself. You can do image search of an earthquake, creation or generation of an earthquake, waves during an earthquake, because all the images will not be given here, and sometimes you need these images to visualize this text. A lot of times what happens is we are not able to visualize this text. Alright, so that's why I feel like you should always visualize this text while you are learning. So this is how you learn, this is how you read a book. This is like, for example, here the effects of earthquake are given. You are not going to remember all these different effects, but try to remember the important ones and try to just make an image in your head that if an earthquake happens, what will happen? Near the sea, tsunami will happen. Falling objects, of course, in the house, objects will. So this is how I used to learn. I used to imagine, oh, this is near the sea, this is in the ocean. Oh, this is at home. You know, oh, this is in the city, the structures or buildings will collapse. This is in the building or in a home, because of breaking of things, fire will also happen. This is in the mountains, avalanche will happen. Okay, so this is in also on the hills, soil liquefaction will happen, or mudslides and landslides. So you can remember through that effects of earthquake can happen near the ocean or the sea. Through tsunamis, it can happen in homes or buildings or in cities, right? It can happen in the mountains also, through landslide, through avalanche. Like this, you know, you can remember all these various things. And sometimes it is good to remember the technical ones, tsunami, soil liquefaction, avalanches, etc., etc. Obviously, you will have to practice these diagrams quite a lot. Like these kind of don't matter. This kind of technical diagrams sometimes come in the exam directly also. Alright. So this is how I would read, and this is today I have told you the first part, and tomorrow or day after tomorrow I will be coming with the second part on how to read any book for UPSC. I will be showing you various books so that you get a very good idea about how to read any books for UPSC, how to cover the. So today we covered how to cover chapters and content, what to focus on. These two things we have covered today. We have also looked a little bit at keywords, but not entirely. Alright, so I hope you guys are enjoying this session. This session is a lot of fun. I feel like this will not only help you in UPSC, this will help you anywhere. How to read any book, any textbook, it will help you for UPSC, for non-UPSC, for college students, for school students. And I hope you enjoyed this session. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Happy to answer them. Alright, take care, bye-bye and have a good day.